Welcome back to Parafox.
I'm a consumer.
We fixed our controller issues.
Yeah, but I broke me, and oh my god. I'm good. I'm good. No restart. I'm just gonna...
It sounded like you broke yourself.
I was taking a hit of the vape, and then I tried speaking with a mouth of cloud, so I just choked on it.
Mouth of cloud.
Yeah, just a mouth of cloud.
It sounds like a...
Mouth of Cloud is a good band name.
No, that's like a good hip hop album name.
I don't know. Well, yeah, that definitely. Or maybe. No, it's a good album name. It's a good album name.
Yeah, Mouth of Cloud.
Oh man, we're getting our asses kicked.
No, we're not.
No, look at that, man.
We took 2 damage.
Despicable.
We gotta fucking go.
We gotta go back to the center.
Holy shit!
You gotta get our homie. Like,
we're living on the fucking edge,
our
bro.
essay healed up. I can't believe I can't believe you didn't know what essay was. I'm still just chuckling about that. Have you ever heard like that word before? Or
No,
I
did.
It just didn't register at that point.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah, I've had like worse brain farts, if it means anything. If it means anything, there's been times where like I've just forgotten the English language. It's really the only one I speak.
Did you ever like take Spanish class or anything?
I took Mandarin. I've had a couple Spanish classes. I can read Spanish, like I could read an article.
Really?
And I can like kind of define, like understand what certain words mean when they're surrounded by other words, but I can't speak Spanish.
Huh. You would
Like-
think that those would kind of come hand in hand.
Well, I think it's just a fact I don't ever practice.
Yeah.
Like, the only people I know that speak Spanish, I haven't really... Actually, there's a lot of people who speak Spanish. I'm making excuses here. I have no excuse. I should know Spanish. I literally live in the American Southwest.
Yeah, and
Like,
not just that, but like Arizona's like a good chunk of our population is
like Spanish speaking.
Spanish.
Like, yeah, it's... I don't know. I have no excuse, but I guess I just grew up with reading Spanish so much. Like, I can kind of pick up some words in conversation.
Yeah.
Like, I can definitely tell, like, in some movies where they're, like, doing Spanish gibberish. Like, have you ever seen, like, 80s movies sometimes? Like, well, they'll have, like, a different language, but they're just speaking gibberish. Happened a lot more than you think. But,
It's like Justin Bieber when he was trying to sing Despacito.
oh, no. That wasn't even an attempt, man.
The man literally just said burrito.
Yeah, not his finest moment, huh? And now, like, is he still in that whole, like, Bass Pro Shop look thing?
I don't know what the hell Justin Bieber's up to. Like, that man just, like, went down a fucking hole into nothingness. And, like, I'm just, like...
I wouldn't say a hole into nothingness. It was just, like, it's just one of those things, like... What? I guess it's just because I've never really been a fan of him. Like,
oh, yeah, no.
It's just, like, I never know what he's up to at any time.
I personally despise Justin Bieber. Not just like because like I don't like his music. Like I honestly like don't like him as a person.
I
Like,
will definitely say he's improved.
No, yeah.
Like, so that's good. But I totally get you.
And I mean like I can understand why someone would have like a personality like that, you know, like he literally became like a pop star at like age like 13. Like that has to change somebody.
That'll mess with your head. Like,
yeah, like
oh
that.
God, just look at any Disney star nowadays. I think I saw Ashley Tisdale in a Smirnoff commercial.
Really?
I don't think, maybe it wasn't Ashley Tisdale. It was some like blonde.
Like Jake Paul is a great example of like person who like got popular very young and then just like
Wait, which one?
Jake Paul.
Oh, Jake Paul. I don't.
Well, yeah, but
Obviously Justin Bieber's like so much richer, but I don't know. Like Jake Paul, like I think he could definitely know better, like, especially now. But like I don't know. Back then, when it was just like the internet was like still so new, and like social media like just started getting you like money. I don't know. Like I think like even with some of his social stuff, he still does it for clicks.
yeah.
I don't know. I think the Paul family could definitely do a little more. They do talk like some of the right shit though. Like I don't know.
It's
But
crazy.
It's so weird, like because we've seen them change a lot, but the fact that like was it Logan Paul or Jake Paul that was like a big anti-masker? Like that's bad. That was...
I haven't heard anything about either of them.
Oh, dude, yeah, like.
Anti-maskers or
Well, no,
anything.
you remember the D'Angelo Wallace video? What was it? Influencer 19. We're like, oh, dude, really good video. We're gonna have to watch that at some point.
I don't recall. Yeah. I do think it's kind of crazy how like the table turns with like during like 2016 we thought that like Jake Paul was like the crazier one, and then all of a sudden Logan Paul goes to fucking
Japan and
goes
directly
into
uploads an Aokigahara like film.
like
Oh man, that's so. It's so like I'm actually I will say I'll disclose this envy. It's like, why do these people get to travel?
oh yeah,
Like if you're gonna send someone like, at least send me. I'll keep my mouth shut. I'll just be like, I don't know where this hotel is. Can someone please help me?
yeah.
And then I'll just cry for like in the middle of the street. That's a whole lot less embarrassing than like throwing fish at a kangaroo or something. Like,
Oh yeah, he like caused like a bunch of chaos even like before like he went into the suicide forest. Like he
oh yeah, he went to like the largest fish market and just started throwing fish about. Like
that,
that's
and
like
then
food waste.
and then he went into like the like technology like section of Japan, and he like grabbed like a classic like Game Boy and threw it on the ground. Like,
oh yeah,
come on,
what a
dude.
flex. Speaking of like,
It looked like a badass Game Boy too.
dude, Game Boys sucked. Like at the time they were great. Don't get me wrong, but oh my god, you have to like definitely count your lucky stars. You had like a backlight LCD.
No,
screen.
yeah. I know that the Game Boys were like not the best to play, like especially at night, because like they literally had to come out with like the little like light that you would snap onto the Game Boy.
Oh, dude. Well, even then, it's like you get like those things were expensive. Like, I mean, you've seen like those reports on how like gaming is cheaper than ever now.
Yeah,
But
which
like,
is kind of weird to think about.
it is really funny. But like those little accessories used to cost a lot of money. So it's like if you wanted to like have your parents buy something, you'd much rather use like the link cable, so like you and your friends can trade Pokemon.
Yeah,
So
you
like,
never really think about inflation in like the U.S. economy and like stuff like that.
I think about it all the time.
Like I don't know, at least for me, because like I'm always just like I never really think, you know, back in like 99 when, or back like in the early 90s when like a Game Boy was like $200 or something. Like I thought, wow, that's like a pretty good deal. But then like you use like inflation to like nowadays, and that's like over what, $900 or something.
See. The original price of a Game Boy was $90. And
Wow, that's actually a lot better.
let's see. I don't remember when it was released in 1989. Let's do some inflation calculations here.
Yeah. You do that, I'm just gonna continue
Yeah, definitely.
gusting around.
In 1989. Inflation. I'm very good at Oh my god.
What?
That would be like... Wait, how much did I say? It was like $90?
$90 in 1989.
That's actually not terrible. It'd be like $200. Nah, really? It's still like 120%. That's still almost double.
Oh yeah, and like probably even like when the PS3 came out in like what? When did the PS3 come out? Like 2003,
PS3 came out like
2004?
I think
Or
it was,
no.
No, it was like 2006 or something, right?
So 2006 and they were like selling the PS3s for like hella expensive, right? Like $600 or something like that.
I think so. That was like, I don't know. It's kind of weird to see like consoles be $1,000 now.
Yeah.
I don't know. Video games are an expensive hobby. Why do we do it?
We do it because it's our only way of entertainment nowadays. Kind
You
of.
could always read a book. You ever do those choose your own adventures?
I've never
You haven't done choose your own adventure?
I've never had those kinds of books.
Oh my god. Those are so much fun.
No, yeah.
I know exactly what I'm bringing over next time. Oh my god. You haven't lived until you've done a choose your own adventure. I think one of my favorites was like the Dragon's Lair or something like that. Like
I thought that was just an arcade game.
no, like there's like let me look up some titles here.
Yeah.
Let's see. I can't remember the exact one I was doing. It was okay. So there's like Mystery of Maya, which is like, well, the Mayans.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find the exact one. Oh, Third Planet from Altair. That's a really good one too. Yeah, you could like it was basically like, you know, like sci-fi stuff, horror stuff. You could like I don't know, fight a fucking dragon. But I used to burn through these books, dude. It was insane.
Really?
Yeah, dude, I used to be a huge reader. I used to write a lot too. I almost had like
I knew that.
a novel.
Yeah. Yeah, you had a novel and wasn't it like didn't like you write it like right before?
Well, okay, let me explain it. So basically I had a novel.
All right.
And then I'm TMing this so no one can steal it.
Okay.
So basically, this was like when we first started asking the questions, like, well, definitely not first starting asking the questions, but like it got a lot more real as automation became a lot more sophisticated. Like
Yeah.
when we have AI, what do we do with it?
Yeah.
So this book I have is set somewhere in the relatively far but near future. And essentially, like, I don't know, what would you call them, bots? Basically, like, what's the word? Homogeneous?
Oh.
Like, basically, they like humanoid robots.
Yeah.
Who
Androids?
would, like, no. Like they're robots. They're not androids.
Oh.
Like they obviously look like robots.
Cyborgs?
No,
no, cyborgs are
cyborg
part
would be
human.
a man machine kind of thing. But no, they're just robots.
Okay, yeah.
As simple as I can put it. So basically, like, companies started developing
Animatronics? Is that a good word?
animatronics is the shit you see at like Chuck E. Cheese that
Oh,
scares
that's
little
right.
children. I'm like this close to just bopping you. I've been trying to tell this
I'm sorry.
3
go,
times.
Go on.
But no, so basically, like, mass corporations started making like cheaper labor because, well, obviously inflation goes up. People want to pay their workers less. You know, capitalism.
Yeah.
But this is actually before like I really got my political ideals, or I really got like radicalized, I might say, as some people might call it. But basically, it's set in a time where like the economy is like struggling, and people are creating these bots to be like cheaper labor because they can pay them pennies on the dollar. Robots don't need to eat.
Yeah.
So there's like a big like crisis in employment for like humans, or as they called them, organics. Like, so it would be like organics and synthetics.
Yeah.
So the synthetics like all like started taking like more menial jobs and everything like that. And more like software AI would start running like more white collar things.
Yeah.
But one of like the people who developed this particular project for this like huge multinational corporation, he ended up like using one of his like first designs to interact with like it would be like like AI where they're like their wits are faster, like they're able to process things and hold on to memories like any like AI could do. However, he didn't really get hooked up to the internet, so he kind of was like on like a human's level as far as like being able to process empathy and emotions.
I see.
So like not a lot of like the other synthetics had that. They kind of like they're just like whatever. They're very statistical. They're very like analytical. But this other particular one, which I named Gus, had a lot more to do with empathy. So after his creator tried to like destroy this project with like a software bug, he ends up getting assassinated. Gus goes on the run because he carries that software bug that's gonna like basically destroy synthetics. So he ends up meeting with this, I guess, like resistance group, but like he meets like one of the people, and then it's kind of also like a love story that doesn't really work out. What I wanted to do is like make it to where it's like it couldn't possibly work out, because you never see love stories that end with a no.
Yeah.
And I don't know why, but I always loved that. But basically the whole thing would be like he's working with this resistance group built up of both like AIs and synthetics to like essentially overthrow that corporation, and I guess like in the end probably overthrow like that particular like economic makeup anyway. But the problem was, like, as I was writing this, I was like pretty close to it, and then this little movie named Chappie got made. And then I would bring like parts like little parts of this manuscript to my creative writing classes, and everyone would be like, "Oh, this is just like Chappie." It's like, no, it's not. It's not. There's a lot more going on with this than fucking Chappie.
Oh, that's so fun.
And the worst part is, like, I did kind of give up on it, but I did want to go back to it. But the computer I was using at the time had its hard drive corrupt, and I lost everything. It was roughly about, I want to say about 300 pages.
And this is like before Google Drive.
Yeah, this is before Google Drive was a thing. Yeah.
So
Yeah. No cloud-based stuff. You just had to back it up on a hard drive.
Man.
It hurt a lot to lose that, because I think that was one of the things I put the most into.
Yeah.
I think the other like stories I used to write were like more short story horror.
Ugh.
I loved me some horror stories.
Oh yeah, horror stories are the best.
Which I guess speaking of horror stories, I was telling you about Bong Joon-ho, the really famous director who came out with Parasite. Like, he makes these like horror movies that have like a lot more symbolism to them. Like there's something about like that monster or like that creature or something that has like it pushes like either a message or like it's like a stand-in for plot points or like an underlying message. And I know I've been talking just forever on these things, but I'm gonna have to show you some of those movies because I found them very exciting. Some of his older work, it's not the most polished, but like the movies themselves are fascinating.
No, yeah, I personally really loved Parasite. I thought that it was an absolute work of art.
I thought it was like a it's like a really good work of art, but I think
Yeah.
it's also a really it feels like a persuasive movie, you know? Like there's a really good argument to be had with the spectacle of how everything's laid out. And like
Yeah,
I try
and-
not to I don't know, I'm gonna try to not be so like philosophical on this, but sometimes it's just hard to say. Like, you know, it's a good critique of like late stage capitalism.
Oh yeah,
And,
and,
like-
I mean, like the movie definitely like,
Well, I mean, like everyone becomes a parasite at that point.
yeah,
Like, well, as a movie entails, like because I mean, I'm sure you're about to say this. Just like everyone was shown like they're just leeching for money, and I thought that was like a really fun thing because it's somewhat of a really dark film.
I was gonna say a more simplified version of that, yeah, but like I was essentially just gonna say like it definitely like introduced a more artistic way to categorize like class within system.
Yeah, but it even shows like because of like a certain economic makeup,
Yeah,
it doesn't really matter what class you're in. It turns everyone into a parasite for this particular resource,
Yep.
or like shelter and safety and comfort. Like it's probably one of the more smart and nuanced takes I would say of it. And you know, I'm quite biased in my philosophies, I might say.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I think he has like a really good criticism of people even who would agree with him to a certain extent. So I don't know, it's just one of those really smart movies, and he's just been making them.
I will
Like this,
say,
like Parasite is not the first one to do that.
I will say that like after I watched the movie, I got really mad at those people who were like kind of like shitting on Parasite for like winning an Oscar in like the
Oh yeah, because it was just like, well, it's not an American film. It's just
yeah
like, well, there's no rule saying it had to be an American film. So
like
shut
that's
up.
just like, come on.
Yeah, it's like this isn't like Suns v Mavericks. This isn't a sports game. It's art. Like art tends to cross borders, you know.
Yeah, no, like art travels without borders.
Yeah,
And I think that honestly, I think it's kind of a little bit like meaningless to have like a
nationalized like a rule.
category of the Oscar for foreign movies that are like
Yeah, well, I mean, especially since it's all becoming more cohesive. But I definitely like the fact that they did have like foreign films as a category, just because it makes you go and it makes you actually go out of your comfort zone a little more. But now we're like casually, like especially like with how interconnected the world is, like finding a Korean movie is just like finding like another action movie, like. And I don't know, I really like that because it kind of like persuades your, like it changes your mindset.
I will say that one of my favorite directors for like movies has to be Jordan Peele.
Jordan Peele is pretty good. Like,
I
don't know. I will say Us was kind of something like, when I first watched it, I thought it was like really genius, but like now that I kind of have had time to process it all, it's like, do I like this movie as much as I think I do?
the acting of the movie really carried film.
Oh yeah,
Because
absolutely.
oh my god, everybody on that movie just like flawless acting.
Yeah, Jordan Peele's what movie is he doing now? He's supposed to be like recreating a
Candyman.
Oh yeah, he's doing Candyman.
Yeah,
Oh man, I'm actually really excited to see that one.
I think he released like another movie that like no one really talked about. I don't know the name of it.
Oh man, I mean, I could see it. Like Jordan Peele, like I was kind of skeptical when I heard that he was like directing a film. but I guess like I shouldn't be. Like, I don't know what it is, but with like comedic actors, they tend to do like these really dark films, like exceptionally well.
Like Get Out, literally his first fucking movie that he directed is like an instant fucking classic masterpiece.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I don't know that like I mean, despite what people are gonna say about its commentary, and most of their opinions are wrong, and I'm correct. Like,
yeah,
but it's like I think my favorite part of that film is like the sinking feeling you have.
Oh
at the
yeah,
end when like the cop car actually does show up. Like,
yeah,
you're like, oh, it's not one of those like, oh, he's saved. It's just like, oh shit, this is a whole nother problem on top of it. Like,
yeah,
that's not something you usually get with movies like that. And I thought that was like a really good like twist.
And I mean, granted,
like it is like it's some really damning social commentary.
I mean, and also like, granted, if I'm not like recalling this incorrectly, the person that gets out of the cop car is like his friend, right?
Yeah.
So like that was a little bit of a sigh of relief, you know?
Yeah, that was like a huge, like I don't know. I've never felt nauseous at a film. I think there's only ever a few times I've ever felt nauseous, and a movie's never really done that for me. I've had books make me nauseous.
Really?
Yeah. Like, there's something about like, I don't know, when you read something, because you kind of have to imagine it. So like they'll describe something, and then like if what they're saying is truly grotesque, your mind's keeping up with it, and it's just like, there was a book I finished not too long ago called what is it? A Boy and His Dog at the End of the World.
Yeah.
It's a relatively new book, which I can definitely tell you about.
That sounds like it's gonna have. That sounds like it's gonna have a bad ending.
It's not too bad.
All right. Next time on Parafox, we're gonna continue playing this wonderful game as always.
And I'll do more book reviews.
More book reviews.
Alrighty, bye everyone. Please subscribe.